Hello everyone, this is Dan. I'm bringing you a quick video on Icewind Dale, hopefully quick. Sometimes I can get a little long-winded. And I apologize for how late I was putting this up. It's as I'm recording this, it's Sunday. Kind of late on Sunday. We've got about 6 hours left before reset to the new weekly reset. And the reason that's important is because you have weeklies in this particular dungeon, just every dungeon, and you want to try to knock them out at least by the end of Sunday. So if you haven't done it already, I recommend knocking. If you want to make some progress on Icewind Dale, especially during the double progression period, then now's definitely try to take advantage of knocking out the weekly at least. So what I'm doing here is I'm starting out with in Protector's Enclave. I'm going to pull up the map real quick, and I am right here, as you can see. And this is where the quest giver Sabella Artis is. She gives the legacy quests, and the reason that's kind of important, if you want to knock out any of the legacy campaigns, it's always helpful to kind of multitask and get some credit for the other things. And one of the things we have offered before this weekly reset changes is Curse of Icewind Dale Conqueror. You want to grab that quest at least, and what I try to do, I can't get to here all the time, but I try to grab all of the legacy quests, and if I can't do them right away, I just save them up. The only thing to keep in mind about legacy quests is if you do a little part of them, and they come out with a new, like a whole new campaign, then they're typically going to reset all the quests. And by campaign, I mean, like right now we're in a Wild Space campaign. The last two mods, and basically this mod and the one before it, were Wild Space. As soon as we get into the next mod, it's going to be a different setting. So you'll want to knock out, any quests that you haven't done. They're not going to go away. They'll still be in your inventory. It's just it's going to reset any progress you've made. But the reason you go to Sabella here is you can get these heroes medallions. You get 5 for each one of these things that you can complete, and you're going to complete them as you do the adventures anyway. So why not take credit and get some extra benefit out of them? You can use them to buy upgrade tokens. There's actually better, easier ways to do that. You can get enchanting stones, although I would just go to Dreadring and do the layers a few times. This is mostly what I use it for, the Glyphs of Potency. You can get these off the Astral Diamond Exchange. Base cost is 50,000 AD. Obviously you can get them for much less than that because people will buy them during the markdown sales, and then they'll post them on the auction house. Also, you could get this. This is certainly an option. The 50,000. If you're looking, if you need a rough Astral Diamonds, I know a lot of endgame players don't. They've got millions and millions of it. I think even on this one, this is an alt. Okay, he doesn't have a lot of rough Astral Diamonds, but this is an alt. So if you're a new player, you're probably either you may be struggling with rough Astral Diamonds, and you get those normally from your skirmishes in dungeons and stuff, your random stuff. But this is another way to kind of boost that. So when you get something that gives you Astral Diamonds, you'll get 50% more, up to this, in this particular case, 50,000. Again, I use it just for the Glyphs of Potency. Helps save me a little bit of funds that I would normally spend on the Astral Diamond Exchange, the Wondrous Bazaar, that is. And normally, like I said, they're 50,000, and I have a VIP benefit, so I get it marked down to 37,500. And during the Wondrous Bazaar sale, you get another 25% added on to that. So that brings a person with full VIP down to about 30K, which is pretty nice. And anybody else who, even if you don't have VIP, will get a benefit out of that. Apologies for the screen moving all over the place. So again, first thing, come here, grab the quest from Sabella, especially this week, because that one for the Icewind Dale Conqueror is going to go away in about 6 hours. So for next up, I'm going to jump to Icewind Dale. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail on how to get into this campaign, just on some ways to kind of maximize it. Not everybody, I'm sure a lot of people know all the little tricks and stuff, but what I'm trying to do here is to kind of combine them all together. So once you do all your base quests, you'll have an option every day to come in here and choose a faction. I mean, usually when you sign up with one of these factions. These are the Arcane Brotherhoods. These guys over here are the 10 Towners. You would sign a contract with them. It lasts, I think, 48 hours, and then you need to re-sign or come up with a new, or you can break the contract. So I always go with the wizards because I like wizards, and you'll normally get a couple quests along with it. I unfortunately have not done those quests in a long time. I just have let them kind of accumulate. Bummer. Looks like I've already done Bigger Tomb in there. So Bigger Tomb is your weekly. This is one of the ones I was kind of hoping to show you real quick, but I'll show you where it's at. But what I'm trying to point out here on the double, let's see, let me pull that up. Double currency Icewind Dale, right? So you get double currency, you get double credit, campaign credit for every task you do in here. Right now, I am barely started in here. I haven't even got any reputation, which means I've gotten just enough to get me in trouble. Let me see, what are my quests in here anyway? Let's see. Adventures. Oh hell, this is the this is the really basic one. So I've done complete quest in Icewind Pass, so I still have one more quest to finish. That's just gather some axes. Oh god, man, I do not want to put you guys through this pain. Let's just swap characters. Okay, let's do that. Let's see if Storm has this finished, at least progressed a little bit. Ooh, 34%, that's better. All right, so we're looking to the biggest thing that delays you in this campaign is this campaign, the reputation. You have the same problem in Storm King's Thunder, and you don't really have that kind of problem in Dread Ring, but this one, you get 2 quests per day that you can increase this progression. Normally those quests are worth 10 reputation each. During Double Legacy you get 20 reputation each. So in one day you could get almost enough to unlock the first major thing, which is Dwarven Valley, which is the reason that's important is because it gives you a whole new section to get quests from, but also gives you a really great area to do AFK farming. And I'll kind of go into that in a couple minutes. But this is where I'm at right now. I am at 120 reputation. All I would need to do is do my 2 dailies, and I would be up to 160. Now you max out the campaign at 350, and there's certainly some benefits there. You can at that point start creating enchantments. But what I'm doing it for is these frozen treasure vouchers. This is something that's really big for guilds. Now these are bind to character on pickup, but you turn them into your guild and get guild marks for them. You'll get 200 guild marks for this 1,000 frozen treasure, and the guild will get 1,000 frozen treasures to help them make progress. And those are kind of a big deal to guilds. Frozen treasures are one of the second hardest to get, I think. The dark vouchers are the ones from Dread Ring, and they are fairly easy because that campaign is pretty fast and easy. And the harder one is Sharandar, which is it's a little tougher, and not a lot of people go there to get stuff that they can donate to the stronghold. I have my own stronghold, so therefore I am very motivated to do this. But another thing that you can do, I'm going to go ahead and bring this character into Icewind Dale. It should make a little bit more sense and go a little faster. And I apologize if I seem to be rushing here. I just don't want to make this video so long that it'll be boring and you guys don't want to keep watching it. So again, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to get my quest. Now here's something that you will get. I'm going to show you one of the benefits. So you go in here, and these are one of the shops that you can invest in. All right. And what you do once you've invested in them, you can come back and you talk to these guys every day. You'll have that little question mark. It's called a return on investments, and you'll get an item. It's not the same for the same vendor every day. As far as I can see, it's different. It'll be a potion of Coalesce Defense, potion of Coalesce Force, or it'll be Black Ice Salve for healing, or even one for helping with your pick to make the enchantment stuff, or the effectiveness lasts longer. But this one, these are very limited time. This is only 20 seconds, and it's not a whole lot of power or defense, but it's in addition to every other thing that you would normally be able to use. So it's not a guild food, it's not an event food, it is something totally different that you can add on to the things that you're throwing at something when you go into combat. Like I said, it's only 20 seconds though, so you're looking at pretty much the very beginning of a big combat. If you're going to use them for that, that's great. If not, I use them for the fact that 37 silver, 37, it's a third of a gold, and I can get, if I hit the round robin, I'll get all 3, and I'll get a gold just for visiting this area. Not a huge deal, but a gold's worth a couple hundred AD. Hell, right now in the auction house, I think they're worth 500 AD for 1 gold bar. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to sign the contract. Sometimes you'll come in here and she'll say, oh, we've already got too many people, so you got to go to the other guys. They kind of keep that even so that you can, I think they encourage PvP that way. But you'll get these two quests, right? Needless Distractions is a daily quest, and Bigrin's Tomb is a weekly quest. And right now it's showing the double amount because of double Icewind Dale. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock these out today, and then I'm going to come back right after reset, or sometime next week before Thursday, and do this again. So I get 200 coin. And that's kind of helpful because that's part of what I need for progression in the campaign. So if you look at the campaign progression requirements, you'll see like here it's just 3 Oral's Chairs, which you get from the quests in Icewind Valley, and then 10 of these coins, which is what I was just showing you, that where you're getting 100 instead of 50, and it increases as you go. You're going to want this because this unlocks Dwarven Valley. That costs you 30, and eventually you're probably not going to be buying these every day, but I would save them so when you do the skirmish Kessel's Retreat, you have these so that you can open the chest. Maybe not a big deal. I've not found a lot of good things in that chest. Once in a while we get some, like a black ice beholder or something, or an artifact, but it's not really a big deal. The boons, there are 5 boons in here, and they cost a certain amount of credits as well. Those are good. Those are one of the really useful things. Some of them cost dwarf gold. I think the first one is just Oral's Tears. The next one is real gold, and well, not real gold, but game gold, dwarf gold, and more of that coin. As you can see, the costs get bigger and bigger. But to make progress in this campaign, you have to do 2 things. You have to get that reputation leveled up, and you have to level up Barrick's Iceforge. You get these things as you do the progression, but you also get this, like every time you go in there, you get you go and you do your daily, and you go over there and you visit him. He will give you some kind of salve or something, and you could sell that for 37 silver. So the second part you have to go to rank 2, and then the third part you go to rank 3. You don't have to do any of the boons. I would recommend doing them though, because the boons are very helpful. You definitely don't have to invest in these other ones. I had always done all this because it takes so long to get reputation normally that why not? But really, is it worth sacrificing getting to the point you need to by spending funds on these things? I mean, that's 50 Koenico. That's 1 full week's worth of the Bigrin's Tomb quest during a normal event period, and then this one is even more, and this one too. So I'm just focusing on these things, getting my reputation, and then getting my Barrick's Iceforge upgraded, and eventually I won't even focus on the boons initially, because again, I'm working on a guild and I'm trying to get these. I mentioned the enchantments that you can do up here, but there's actually another way. So one of the things with this Barrick's Iceforge, I'm going down here, I'm going to show you on the map. Let's see, map, where are you at? Map, it's going to be, where the heck is it? Right over here. So this is Barrick's Iceforge, right? You speak to Barrick, he's the first guy, you kind of have to invest in him. Say thank you, you're visiting, and then you can see down here I got a minor black ice salve. Again, it's just a few silver or whatever, and it does some minor healing. But what the real advantage is right up here where the forge is. Don't know what, you can see it says refine black ice and upgrade black ice enchantments. Now you can actually go in here and say and do other things, but what you can do in here is once you open this up, you have first off whatever raw black ice you have, This is that stuff that you just get when you're doing part of your adventuring. You can refine it because you need refined black ice, like the stuff from that, and all it takes is 1 to 1. So you're not paying anything for that. All I got to do is just say, okay, well, jeez, that thing is crazy. Probably easier just to type it in. All right, so there we go. I've done all that. I'm not really worried about this thing. But what we have here is you can make these overloads. You get the green ones and the blue ones. Now the blue ones, the only difference between the green ones and the blue ones, besides the regions here, are the fact that you need a green overload. So you would get the green overloads first. You see, I am missing some components. You get these like black ice wedges and the twisted black ice fragments, and there's some other ones too, the core. You get all those from doing heroics, just random drops from the heroics. What you do with that is, like I said, you figure out which ones. You use the ones you want to use. You can use kind of any of these, but you're going to want to look at these and say, okay, well, what's the benefit on the auction house if you want to sell them, or you can use them. I would use either the corrupt lethal, which is the gives as a damage dealer. I gives me critical strike and AP regen. You see here, the green one's only 300 critical strike and 0.5% AP per second, but it lasts 8 hours, right? And it's a 25% chance, so that's going to come up. And when you convert this to a blue, it's still 8 hours, but now it's 800 critical strike and 1.25% of your AP each second. So that's a little bit better. Say 8 seconds, or what is it? 8 seconds is 10% of your AP, your action points. So, pretty handy. And these actually sell pretty well. Corrupt piercing is similar, except that it gives you crit severity. Corrupt black ice gives you power. It just depends on what you need. Deflect, and I believe this is critical avoidance, and is this defense? Yes, defense. So, and gain, instead of AP gain, it's giving you temporary hit points. Okay. So let me just show you real quick. I'm going to take a look at that again. Black purified, or purified. All right, let me see if I can find that on the auction house. Let's see what they're selling for right now. Okay, I believe it's going to be under refining stones, overloads. Is it under here? Let's see. All right. Look at that, a green corrupt black ice for 18.7. I don't know if it's selling for that, but the blue one, 30,000. Corrupt piercing, if we want to sort this by name, let's see. Corrupt black ice, 30,000. Corrupt lethal, 30,000. Corrupt piercing, 40,000. And this doesn't have all of them, but you actually see a lot of people aren't doing this, but people do buy these. I've sold these. I've got a ton of them. As I've gone through here and done my regular adventuring for my different characters, I have accumulated the different regions for them, and you don't pay anything out of pocket. You don't pay any astral diamonds yourself, but here is a legitimate kind of decent farm that you can get out of Icewind Dale. A lot of people have told me that they're just no good consistent AD farms in Neverwinter, and I beg to differ. I would say they're a little hard to find. They're not well listed, but they're out there. You just have to kind of dig around to figure out where they're at. I mean, some people make their fortunes on the auction house. Some people do it other ways, and for me, it's just you find little things that maybe it's only 20, 30,000 AD at a time, like in Dread Ring, those epic enchanting stones, and here the overloads, but they add up. I get I always think it's a little funny when people tell me, I'm just not, 100,000 AD a day is just not going to cut it. Well, it's 100,000 AD a day. That's 10 days you have a million AD, and 2 weeks you have enough to buy, I don't know, a decent companion, maybe even a decent, really high grade companion, or maybe even an artifact. 3 weeks you have enough to buy an artifact. All right, so I'm just gonna grab the quests while I'm here. So what else can you get out of this? Let's see. Oh, right. So like you said, there's 2 different quests that you do daily, right? The one of them is that needless distractions, or if you go to 10 towers, it's going to be safekeeping. It's the exact same thing. What you do is, I'm going to show you what it looks like in here. Kirkonig, let's see, needless distractions. So you complete 1 heroic encounter and you collect 300 black ice. And 300 black ice is like, if you go to one of the black ice nodes, you get 50 per shard that breaks off, and you'll get a small node will give you 3 shards, a large node will give you 6. So you'll have enough, either doing 2 small ones or 1 big one to complete this. But what you can do is you combine these tasks. So let's see, do I have demon hunting? I do. With demon hunting, you get exactly the same reward as you do for needless distractions. And demon hunting is just 3 demonic heroics, and that counts as a heroic for this. So rather than trying to do 2 different things here, just do, when you're leveling, just do the demon hunting. That's my recommendation. It's the demon hunting is a pain in the ass because you have to do 3 of them, and only one of them is, I don't know, reasonable in time. One of them you have to sit there and kind of protect the wizard for a certain amount of minutes while he charges up the barrier, I guess. And if he gets hit by one of the demons, then he will fall down, and it'll just pause the progress. Then one of the other ones, you have to protect this this gateway, this entryway into this, I guess, into the abyss, to keep demons and cultists from getting in there. And that takes time. It takes, I think you have to do that for 2.5 minutes. But my favorite one is actually the one that goes up in here, which is, hey, it's running right now. Let's go up there. The nice thing about that is it's just kill a certain number of ads that pop in, and you can do this one in about 1.5 minutes. Now, hopefully I can get up here in time. This thing is way the heck across the map. But it is super easy. You could almost let your, actually I think I have from time to time, just to check it out, let my companion do all the work, and it will finish it off before the encounter is over. Right now, the last, when I pulled it up, it looked like it was, 7.5 minutes. I'm not agile enough to pull the map up while I'm still moving. But that's one thing you can do. Just do 2 things at once, and for doing 3 demonic encounters, I'm going to get 40 reputation, which will be a huge boost to me. Plus the other benefits to it. I think you get coins from that, and some raw astro diamonds, rough astro diamonds. You don't get a whole lot of rough astro diamonds from quests in Icewind Dale. The big ones will give you, I think, 450. The small ones will give you, I don't know, 90, 120, something like that. You see, this is so I'm at 25% already just from that little encounter, right? Watch my mad skills. Woohoo. I was going to impress you with my Dragonborn in his karate outfit. He was called Mandrake because he's a Dragonborn man Drake. But kind of a weird play on words. We'll just have to settle for Storm. Okay, I am at 87%. Finish off this little group, and I am done with this puppy. I don't even know how long that took. But that's one. And then automatically it's going to move to the next spot. The way this usually works is it goes from here to here to here, and then back here again. As soon as you finish off one, it just automatically, like within like 10-15 seconds, moves to the next one. I am not going to that one because, again, this is one of the slow ones, and I just really don't like doing the slow ones. Okay, so that's one way you can do that. I'm going to show you Dwarf Valley real quick. So, again, the advantage you get with Dwarf Valley is you open up another area that you can do more quests in, so that when you're doing Sabella quests or a quest for your stronghold, which is only, you complete 3 adventure quests in Icewind Dale, and you'll get some adventure shards from the Master Coin in your stronghold. But this also has its own area with the demonics. This is one of the slow ones. The faster one is right here, and then the other slow ones here. But you have all of these things in during this week. You're knocking out 2 at the same time. Since I've done it, one of the heroics, I am going to go ahead and look for some black ice to mine. There's some over there in that encounter, but I'm gonna see if I can show you real quick some of the areas while I'm in here. Again, hopefully I'm not taking too long in here. But this is, so I mentioned those big deposits of black ice. This is one spot you'll see it. Let me show you on the map. It's right here. All right, that's where one would spawn if it were here. This is one of the encounter areas. I'm not going to do all that. There's more over here. I'm not super familiar with the big spots over here, but usually there's one right in here, right where these trolls are. Then you have the small ones. There's lots of them around here that don't have any critters around them. This one is actually kind of close to an encounter area. You can see that meat strung up on the tree over there. That's actually one of the quests, is to take those down and throw them in the fire, and then fight the thing that shows up. So now I'm going to aggro these guys because they're going to notice me. But let me see if I get enough time to knock this out before they do. Oh no, they see me. Am I going to make it? Nope. Dang it. They interrupt you, and basically you have to start over when you do it again. Now you can get stuff to actually make this run faster, but is it worth it? I don't know. Doesn't seem to be worth it to me. So I mentioned you're going to get you're going to need 6 of these shards. I've got 3 now. If you're in the zone too long, like a really long time, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but if you're in the zone for a long time, you'll notice that you don't see the shards appear anymore. You can go around and try to find them, but the way to fix that is to leave the zone, either teleport to or go out to Caer Konig, or go to the other zone, which in this case is going to be Icewind Pass, and then just come back. And if you're not gone very long, everything will still be here. I don't know how long those black ice things show up, but they're not here forever. This is where another big spot is. Let me see if I can show you that on the map. This is, where am I? I'm right here. I am going to go ahead and get that last ice shard there. They're all over the place. Like here's one next to an encounter. Now normally people lately have been camping the heck out of these troll idols. This is a great AFK spot, because these guys respawn every 15 seconds, and that gives you they're only 1 dot and 3 dot enemies, but you're getting wow, see how quick that respawned. You're getting progression now that they have experience no longer as a thing. You get progression on this. I'll show you that in a sec. Man, these guys are fast. There's a bar here, and once you hit level 20, you'll get progression. You can see I'm at 5%, but you get a certain amount of progression depending on the kills. Good grief, that's fast. That's even faster than I remember. Usually it's like 15 seconds after you kill them, not 15 seconds counting the time they showed up before. All right. right? I'm not even getting enough time to mine this thing. But I'm not going to complain. Because with the the Coins of Joaquin event, you know, you sit here and you just basically camp this out, and you can let your companion kill these guys, and or you know, you could do it too. The trouble with the drops in pretty much any area on a PC is that they only stay on the ground for a couple minutes at most. So there, I just completed the Needless Distractions quest. You know, ideally, what I want to do is also do the demonics, but the demonic encounters, if you look, all you're going to get is Seals of the Adventure and maybe some refinement points. If I do the heroics herein that are not demonic heroics, well, I am really amazed that there's nobody else here. This is crazy. While I'm here, this is one of the areas that you'll get an encounter. There's a protect the wagon. Okay, see if I can show you here. This is right here, about in the middle of the map. All right. So if you're camping this spot here, and someone kills, you know, someone engages that encounter, the kill the wagon, the heroic. Sorry, protect the wagon heroic. If you're in either this spot where the troll idols are, or the other one, and you've basically killed anything in here, which is, if you see how fast these guys respawn, by the time that heroic's over with, you will have had, you know, your companion or you will have killed something. So you're going to get credit for the heroic just for standing in there. You don't, if you're doing the heroic, you don't have to run ads up here to give the guy credit. You know, but if you're in that area and you want if you want to get credit, don't worry about it. All you got to do is just basically either, you know, you can engage it yourself, but if someone comes along and does it, then you're going to get credit for it. So I'm just doing this heroic just to show you what you can typically expect from the minor heroics in here. Okay, already. For rewards, they're not much, but you can get those regents for those overloads, and you know, even if you're only getting the overloads for you, they're pretty helpful. So let's see what we got. Ooh, I got 250 refinement points. Woohoo! All right, well, maybe I need a bigger like. All right, I'm not going to that demonic. Okay, well, there's these guys. I don't want to run you all over the map to look at it, so I'm just gonna say, if you do the heroics, you have a chance of getting these like black ice wedges or shards or whatever that are regions for that other stuff. And if you do the major heroics, you're definitely going to get something bigger. Now, the major heroics, let's see if I see any right now. This red area is the PvP area. If you go into that area, you'll be marked for PvP. So if anybody in another faction is also marked for PvP, then they can attack you, or you can attack them. I don't like PvP because I'm not that good at it, and I'm just going to get my butt kicked and embarrassed. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, good for you. You don't necessarily have to run into anybody in here, but what I do recommend is, if you're going to go in here to do like this heroic here, then, and you don't want to do the PvP, either teleport back to Koenig or out of the zone and then come back in. Don't just leave and go back up this way, because unless you're really good, someone's going to come along and kick your butt. And the equipment you have that's good for fighting monsters, the PvE equipment, is not necessarily good for fighting another player. And you know, there's other things that, you know, if you're good at PvP, you know, or you've really prepared for it, then you're going to do better than someone that's maybe higher item level, but not as knowledgeable. So what I'm going to do real quick here is show you where I'm at. I'm in the kind of like sorry, I'm in this small, kind of the right quadrant or right corner of the map, right corner, middle of the map to the kind of to the right. This is where the spot here is where the ice, what is it called, the Hammerstone Queen quest is. You would go in here, and you can just fly by all these ads. You don't have to engage them. I've rarely ever had them do anything, even throw anything at me. I just zoom down here, all the way to the end. I mean, if you enjoy fighting a lot of the extra ads, you can, of course, but you go in here, you fight these guys, and then these two anvils are what you would hit. They'd be sparkling and stuff because you'd have the quest that you picked up, and then you do that, and it engages, and the Hammerstone Queen of Pylon shows up here, and a bunch of guards show up around her. You attack and kill her, and you get a quest completion, and some odd components, odds and ends components that you might be able to use for something else. But the biggest thing for it is it's another quest that you can get completed, and if you are a completionist, this is where you go. All right, so what else? Bigrin's Tomb. I don't think I showed you that yet, but let me do, before we do anything else, I'm going to show you just some quick tips on the AFK farm. I did mention the the best spots for it is right next to the heroics, but that's also can be a little dangerous because the monsters in the heroics are a little bit tougher than the other ones that just show up, especially in the trolls that show up around here. This area, there's a big medium-sized heroic that shows up here, so if you're farming this and you're just sitting there and not really paying attention, or you don't have a great companion, then you can get your butt kicked. You can see, let's see, I don't know if there's two people. Yeah, it looks like there's two people there. That's great. There's certainly advantages to having a couple people, but most of the time not. The biggest advantage for that right now is that you get, with these walking coin bags, if one drops and you're in a party, it drops for everybody. So there's one for you, one for the anybody else in the party in exactly the same spot. So just send everybody there to that spot, and they'll pick up each have their own bag. This is that encounter I was talking about. So again, this guy over here that's kind of farming up in front of me, as soon as I finish this, he's going to get credit for this heroic. And there's a legacy quest for Icewind Dale heroics, which would just take filling up the bar to 100%, which the way it works now is minor heroics are worth 20, major are worth 40. I assume the mediums are worth 30. I don't usually mess with the mediums because they're really hard, they're really time consuming. I mean, they're not super hard. You can finish them easily, but they take time, and it's just way more time that you would spend on doing one of the minors. I've done this so many times, I know exactly where everything spawns. You start out in front of there, then these guys show up behind it, and then the final group shows up where the first group showed up. So I'm back over here again, and I keep getting these coins bags, which is cool. Again, if I were in a party, then there would be a coin bag for everybody in the party that dropped right there. So we'll finish this off. So the key thing with the AFK farms, obviously we don't have it quite as good as they do on a console, where you can just kind of go away and come back 12 hours later, and you just have a crap load of loot sitting around. We only have a couple minutes but to pick stuff up. Now that doesn't necessarily apply for certain items. I think it's a lot longer for if any of these lock boxes drop on the ground. It may be a lot longer for the walking coins bag. I'm not sure. I'm just too greedy to not go around and just pick it up every so often. No, I may be working on something else while I'm letting my companion farm it, but what I'm doing normally, I'm glad this is open so I can kind of show this to you. What I'm doing normally is just kind of sitting here and letting my guy do his thing. Now you see I have the Minotaur Mercenary here. Not the best. Obviously Regis is one of the best. But damn, this is fast. Now I kind of sit back and let you see what happens with the Mercenary, right? Without me doing anything. Since it's so fast, it's going to be kind of nice. So your companion won't do anything until these guys get aggro on you, and then it might take him a little bit of time to get any action going after that. So after a little bit of time, they notice you and they attack you, and then he does, he waits, and then he does this big attack, which is great, but it doesn't kill everybody. And it kind of sucks. But still, I mean, this guy took out pretty much all of them within the first 10 seconds or so. So, you know, that's a decent companion for this. Not, again, not the best, because Regis will pretty much kill them all in one once he does his big hit. It should kill them all pretty much right away. He took some time. So I am going to summon another companion, if it'll let me, if I'm fast enough. Let's see. I don't even have him on here. Let's knock these guys out real quick. Okay. We'll grab this guy. Companions. Now, a lot of people, this is, I've already bought him for the, once, so you get him for the account when it's in the Zen store. So I'm going to pull him up, and you just watch the difference. Even though he's only on purple. Oh crap! Let's do this first. Load him up. Bind him. Okay, summon him. And there he is. Watch this. I'm just going to not pay attention to him. Boom! Okay, fine. Be bad. Don't show me anything. Normally he just blows them away right away. But see what he did? He got aggro. Even though he's not killing them all right away, I love this companion because he will pull them away from you. The Minotaur Mercenary, even though he's on Mythic and he's got a lot of good benefits to him, and he actually was doing all the attacking, he did not get the aggro for quite a while. They were still attacking me and hitting me. This guy, as soon as they notice me, he attacks. He doesn't wait a few seconds to do it. He throws his AoE attack, which is puts them all on flame, and depending on your item level, the higher your item level is, the more damage he's going to do. He might be able to just kill him right away. And you see how quick that went. With the mercenary, just like I said, it takes more time for him to get started. I would argue that this guy is slightly faster than Regis, but I'm biased because I don't have Regis. I have compared him because I've had a person who joined my party when I was sitting here, and he had Regis, and the demonic servant was faster. Now the trouble with the demonic servant is he was a limited time Zen market thing. They might have him again later, but there's different companions you can get out of here. But the key thing is make sure, if you're going to AFK farm, that you have a companion that's able to grab aggro quickly and not get your ass killed. This guy not only grabs aggro, but he also evades the opponents. So another thing you could do. I have a trick here. Alright, so what is this? Cloud of Steel, it should be, is that? Alright. So there is a trick, so you can add a little bit of a speed to this and help for your companion. So what I just did was I pulled in a power. Now power tray exec 1 is your at will on your right, your right click. Power tray exec 0, and it's also called evaluate left click, is your left button. So if I put that in there, see, this is what happens. Now the trouble with this, I'm not clicking anything, I'm just letting it do its thing. The trouble with this is there are certain character classes that once it does this, like this encounter's over, right? You have to basically tell it to do it again. So it's really not great for a rogue, but for a wizard, ranger, warlock, and certain other classes, then it will. It will just, every time you get a new set of encounters, it will happen. It will start doing its attack. They just have to be. So if I pull it back up again, all I'm doing is pressing enter and pressing the up arrow, and it pulls up the last command that you put in there, right? So now he has to be facing them, and he doesn't automatically do that. And because my companion runs them all over the place, it doesn't help that much. So your location is pretty important. I like to kind of center myself, especially when I have a companion like this guy. Like to center myself on this idol. But that is one way to do it. If you don't have that command that you can put in there easily, like I said, I only have to do this. I have to do this every time with the rogue. But if I was on a wizard, I just do it once, and if I leave it alone and don't click again with the left or right mouse button, then it will just do it every time you run into an encounter. Another way you could do that, though, is if I do the same thing by holding down my left mouse button. I'm doing that right now. You see I must have a target. Now I just pull up one of the menus, like this menu here. You see how the screen's shifting? It's because he's attacking. Now if I just click the menu again, I'm just hitting C. I'm not holding the mouse button on you. You let go of the mouse button before you get out of that menu. And it will be you'll have that auto attack going. So that's easier than having to type in this thing and do this every time. You could just hold down the button, whichever one you want, the right or left. The trouble with the right mouse button, if I do that, he's going to do this all the time. He's just going to keep moving around, and he's going to eventually run off the map. But if I put him on an at-will that's like this one, and it doesn't matter whether you're in a battle or not, you just pull up either a menu, like your power menu or your character menu or whatever, and then you just release the mouse button and then get out of the menu, and you are in auto attack mode. All right. Again, better with the Warlock or Wizard. Just keep in mind that it only works for at-wills, and it's not going to work well for any at-will. Let me see if I can just pull up something easier here. For an at-will that requires you to let go of the button, like Warlocks have this one, and actually Wizards have, Thaumaturge I think has one where you hold down the thing, and it makes the circle get bigger. It's a flaming area, and once you let go, then it, based on how long you held it, that's how big it gets. Well, that doesn't work well with here, because it's just going to basically act like you're holding down the mouse button the entire time. So find something that works for you. Like I said, for the rogue, you basically have 3 melee attacks and 1 ranged attack. I would stick with the ranged attacks, and same with your rangers. You just want to make sure you're in the not in the melee stance. You're going to want to be in the other one, and have an at-will that that does decent damage. All you're doing really, the biggest thing you're doing here is you're just getting aggro faster. Even if you're not doing maybe even as much damage as your companion, you're getting aggro faster. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Alright, just gonna wipe this out and let somebody else come in and take over it. Let's see, is there anything else? Positioning is kind of important. The AFK farms, you can figure out for yourself whether that's something you want to do. I don't know if these Joaquin's bags are is massive of a deal as let's see, I got 15. I don't know if they're all brand new from here, but probably. But it's just one way you can get something a little extra out of what you're doing already. Okay, I'm gonna talk about something else real quick. So I mentioned those the black ice nodes, right? If you just are you're farming your black ice and you run into and you want to pick you've gotten 3 and you want to, for some reason, one of the nodes you picked up only had 1 on it. So the next one you come to, you go ahead and pick out you pick off 2 more nodes. What I recommend is don't stop there. Just go ahead and empty the node out, because it will respawn if it's totally mined out. If it's not totally mined out, it's going to sit there with like 1 charge left in it, which is kind of annoying to the next guy that comes along and goes, hey, here's the big one. I need 6, and 6 pieces, and it gives him 1, and it blows up. Like, that's just annoying. That's a little pet peeve. It's totally up to you. It's your game. You can do what you want to do, but just as kind of a nice little etiquette thing, I would recommend that you just go ahead and mine that out. Another thing I don't recommend you do, if people are in here AFK farming, don't come in here and try to steal their kills. There's I guess a misconception that if you come in here and you you park your character right next to their character, and they're just not really paying attention, that you'll get shared credit for everything. Well, the thing is, the way it seems to work in here is the person who gets credit, if you're not in the same party, the person who gets credit for the kills and that gets all the loot on the ground is the one that actually killed the monster. So if you have a faster companion, or you're just lucky enough to do your stuff faster, or you just run in here and you're just being a jerk and you just run in here and kill stuff off and then leave while the other guy's not here, and you're just like, haha, he's AFK farming, screw him. Well, you're just being a jerk. Don't do it. Like I said, you do you, but hopefully karma comes back to haunt you if that's the person you are. I'm hoping you're not that person. Let me show you real quick where Bigrin's tomb is, and then I will wrap this up. Again, most people know where all this stuff is, I think. I'm just trying to kind of summarize everything and hopefully give you the best bang for your buck for what you're doing in here, and you can put the least amount of effort into and get the most out of it. So if you look at the map here, I'm seeing it. If you have the quest, you'll see up here, this little dot where it is. This is where the initial quest giver is. There's a little keep up here with a couple campfire locations, but you go up here past the demonic here, and you knock that out, and you have gotten your weekly done. I need to do that on this guy. I am going to see if this is already engaged. Well, looks like it is. Let's see, what do we got left? We got 58 seconds right here. You can see it. So even better, if someone else is already down here doing this thing, this is great. I think I've already gotten to the demonic heroics. Let me see. That would be awesome. If it's only one, that would be less than awesome. But this one is just keep the guys from entering this thing. This little bar will fill up as more of them get in here. But as you can see, it's not really that difficult. All you got to do is basically hit these like guys that are showing up. You don't have to kill them. You can just hit them and they'll stop. They'll just start throwing things at you and doing damage to you. But if you have a lot of them and you're by yourself and you're struggling to kind of keep this thing protected, that's what you do. You just go and run around and you just hit these guys until they stop and start attacking you, and there you go. So I have 1 second left, and that is done. So obviously I still have one left on the demon hunting. Yeah, I've got 2 of 3, but I will knock that out after this video. I am going to end it here. Let me just check my notes real quick and see whether or not there's anything I've missed. See, we've got what's in it for you. We've got the vouchers for the guild. Got the overloads. Take advantage of the double events. Make sure to stop by Isabella when you first start, so you get credit for that. I don't know how many we've killed, but we can look at this and see. Let's see. Curse of Icewind Dale. I had adventures and heroics already on here, so I am going to take advantage of that. If you set your quest, oh man, where is it? Oh, did I not grab the quest? That's hilarious. I didn't grab the weekly quest from Sabella on this character. I am so horrible. Might as well grab it before it goes away. I had grabbed it on the other character that I started out with, so I forgot to do it. So here we go. Curse of Icewind Dale Conqueror. I could have had that knocked out. And so while I'm here, select your change challenge bonus. Make sure that this is set to whatever the double of the legacy campaign it is, and then you'll get double rewards from it as well. So normally when I would turn in a quest, because I've set it for Icewind Dale now, normally when I turn in a quest to her for the legacy campaign stuff, I would get credit for whatever campaign, in this case I'd get a dwarf and gold and Oral's Tira and some other stuff. But because it's double, I will get double that from Sabella as well. So really, really helpful for progress. And unfortunately it doesn't give you double, what do they call that? It doesn't give you double reputation. So, you're the only two you're getting reputation is those 2 quests. And from, if you go here to the Black Ice store, you can also get it from the Black Ice from a Genie's Gift, and you will get double the normal stuff from the Genie's Gifts. This one is showing you what you would normally get, which is 30 Coin Coins, 5 Oral Tears, 5 Dwarf Gold, and 10 Coin Reputation. But if you buy this and open it during a double event, then buying it doesn't matter, but opening it during a double event, you could double all that. So you could knock out this camp real quick with Genie's Gifts. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Good luck. Hopefully this time my audio actually recorded. I spent quite a while a couple days ago doing this, putting this video together, and then went to go ahead and make sure it was good. And of course the audio had been, the software had reset my recording device to something that I didn't actually have plugged in, which was annoying. But that's neither here nor there. Good luck, GG, have fun, happy gaming.